these. And so we're always thinking a year or two out as far as like our pruning tactics. And this year, these two, even though they're a little bit far out, what I'd rather do is come here and lay this down this way. But what then we're going to be with these shoots coming out down here, and then this cane is not as nice as this cane. This is meant to think. So this is about speed for this. This is walking up here. You could even really lay this down if you wanted, right? It's going to snap there. So there's actually so this is a shoot that comes off the big shoot. So this is so good. Shoot. The shoot's not too bad. But this one obviously lasts, right? It's these ones are position. It's here. One, two buds, and those will shoots and those will grow up into the trellis. And we'll lay one of the shoots in these places. So we're just trying to keep it. There's a pruning wire. So we're always trying to keep the growth below that.
So those two will grow that fast?
Yeah, well, we'll cut here. Primarily, these little buds won't. We're not really relying on that. That's your safety net. But this bud here, that will grow up into a nice shoot this year, God willing, and it will then have buds. These buds are pretty tight spaced. You normally like to see this here. But yeah, no, they'll push their new shoots will grow all the way up. These are all last year, right? So same thing will happen down here. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 clones in there. Chardonnay as well. Clone 96, the first few rows, first handful of rows. Clone 17 and clone 10. And so clone 10, which is actually they're all very similar right now. There a difference. As soon as they start growing, the leaves come out and stain to like where they add the color of the buds. So what we've just done is our initial proof. Now we're going to go through, tie down. Here, that's kind of suspect. That's kind of suspect. So obviously, lay down that guy. This one's already heading in the right direction. So you cut there. Diesel bud +1. And need that. So it's ready for next year. Bring this guy. I tried not to bring it down there because he damaged buds. About to say you lay that. And see how it's all. And then we have bud break. And so you can see here, see how it's starting to get like a little tiny on the end? So these have been very tight and they have a little encasing, little sheath around the outer portion of the bud.
Yeah.
Here are the sheaths as well. So you have this bud fully intimate. And so that bud, each bud is comprised of 3 buds. So your first bud that's going to push is your fruiting bud and the most fruitful. That's your main one in the event that everything's nice and smooth and you're not going to issues. That's your main one. Those other buds that will not push typically. They all finesse. Secondary push. Typically, that secondary bud is fruitful. Then there's the third bud, tertiary. That in the event that something catastrophic is killed for primary 2 buds, that's your life block. That'll push and just go shoot. It won't be, but it will be a little bit of life that you bring the vine back. And tendrils. So you got tendrils everywhere. This is how the vine climbs, right? So we have a vertical shoot positioning here. So this is where this vine likes to grow up. Your Niagara and Concord are procumbents. They like to grow. They like to be. They want to flock. They want their shoots. This is the cadence. They want them to flock over. Yeah. And they like that better. These guys like to grow up. So we call this vertical shoot positioning. See something crazy. You guys familiar with all Spotted Lanternfly?
Yeah, look at that.
All of these?
These ones are bred from last year. The wet ones are live. They're about the crop. So those are all old. There's one covered in white casing, all fresh. See how they're all. Those guys are all alive. Sorry, it's all going in your face.
What are you doing about them? Because I know how they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're not detrimental until the end of the season. I can spray all day here. I can kill everything in the vineyard. they'll just keep coming back. So, try not to spray a lot of insecticides, basically. And so I'll wait until the very end of the season when they start really, when they're adults, and what they do is they feed on the vasculars for the vines, they feed on the, they literally suck the nutrients out, but then they excrete a honeydew. The honeydew then attracts sooty. And so our vines actually look a lot blacker. So it's, I mean, it's they're really, really cool.